There was a knock at Ollie's door. This is at his office. Ollie didn't get a lot of walk-ins these days, but, it was fine. So he opened up the door, and there was a well-dressed man. He said, "Ollie the Octopus, right?" I said, "Yeah, that's me." Great. I need some help." I said, "All right. What's your name?" "My name is Maxwell Sims. Friends call me Max." I said, "All right. Do you want me to call you Maxwell or Max? I'm hoping you'll be a good friend to me, so let's have you call me Max. You go by Ollie?" I said, "Yes, I do." Great. I need your help. Somebody stole my house." I said, "Oh my. Some sort of property deed dispute?" No. I mean, maybe, but they stole the whole house. It's just gone. Poof. I said, "Oh. Yeah, that's no good. Can you tell me a little more?" "Yeah. I mean, I can tell you what I know. I've lived in this neighborhood for, 33 years, something like that. And, there's always been some neighbors I didn't get along with, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit of an abrasive person. I know that about myself. I'm working on it, but it's who I am. And I think one of them stole my house. Because I went home yesterday after work, and it was gone. There's nothing there." I said, "Wow, what kind of house is it?" I mean, it's a small house. It's a small, single-family. All the houses in there are small, single-family houses. 2 to 3 bedrooms, about, 1,000 square feet, maybe a little more, depending on if your basement is finished. They're modest places, but I like mine. But now someone's gone and stolen it. I said, "What makes you think someone stole your house?" I said, "Well, I went there to the right address, and it's gone. There's no house. There's a sidewalk." I said, "Stop." There's a sidewalk leading up to a hole in the ground. I said, "Oh. Well, I guess maybe we should start by going out there." "Okay. I drove here. I can drive us there." Stop it. Oh, I said, "All right. Before we get going, I should show you my rate card." I said, "Yes, fine. So I showed him the rate card. I said, "That's all fine. That seems reasonable. You're a professional person after all. Don't worry. I made a bunch of money in some technology stuff, so I'm not worried about that part." I said, "Okay." So they got in the guy's car, Max's car, and they drove out. It's this place kind of out, Lauraville roughly. And they pulled up to the address, and there indeed was an empty lot. There was a sidewalk, like he'd said. It led up to not quite a hole in the ground, but a spot where, you could tell that there was at one point a house. All I noticed, however, that it didn't look fresh. There was grass growing on it, and it was smooth sides. There weren't, tire tracks or anything in the grass. I said, "Yeah, so I lived here for, like I said, 32, 33 years, and came home yesterday after work, and this is what I found." I said, "Huh. And tell me about the house." "My house? Well, sure, my house, well, see, it would be a 2-bedroom house, except that I modified it some. So I didn't need a second bedroom, and I wanted a larger bedroom for myself, so I broke down some walls, between the master bedroom and the hall bedroom. And then I also expanded the bathroom. So upstairs was kind of one big master suite. Downstairs, simple thing. It was like a living room, dining room, and a kitchen. Down in the basement, mine was a sort of finished basement. It was full height. Had laundry down there, and that's where the, water heater is and things like that. A few tools lying around, and then, you can see the yard. And, simple, modest place, but plenty enough for just me. Never had any spouse or kids or anything. Just Dogs sometimes, not dogs right now, though. I said, all right. So tell me about the neighbors. I said, well, I mean, most of them are kind, lovely people, but there's 2 or 3 of them, maybe 5, that I just don't get along with them. And the guy pointed them out. I said, so you think one of them orchestrated something to have your house removed? And that is indeed, yes, what I think has happened. Was there kind of some instigating incident, some kind of argument? Well, I'm sorry to say, and I'll admit it's probably as much my fault as anything else, but there's instigating arguments practically every week. Something about where I park my car, or how I keep my lawn, or how they keep their lawn, or where they park their car. Seems like we're always fighting about something. If it wasn't for the other neighbors and the fact that I love my house, I'd probably move out to get away from them, but I do like it here, so I say maybe they should be the ones to move out. I said, all right, that's between you and them, I guess. Let's see. What's the actual address here? This would be 339 Linkwood. I said, all right, this is something. I said, all right, well, tell you what, is there like a coffee shop or a bar or something that you hang out in around here? I said, yeah, just around the corner, coffee shop. Not much of a drinker myself. I said, all right, why don't you go and hang out there, and I'm going to go and talk to some of your neighbors. All right, I'll go do that. Good luck. And you'll just meet me back at the coffee shop when you've figured out what's going on? I said, yeah, I will. So he waited until the guy had rounded the corner. I had seen the coffee shop as they came in. He knocked on the first neighbor's house. This was the neighbor right next door. But nobody was home. Across the street was one of the neighbors that Max had pointed out as being somebody that he fought with. So Ollie knocked on the door with some trepidation. And a little old lady came out and said, hello, what can I do for you? I said, hi, my name's Ollie. I'm working for your neighbor, Maxwell. Oh, I don't want to talk about Maxwell. You seem nice enough, but no, I'm not interested in discussing Maxwell. I'm sorry. And she closed the door. I said, oh, okay. A little unexpected. So then Ollie went to the neighbor on the other side of the missing house. Knocked on that door. A guy in his, mid-40s answered. I said, hi, my name's Ollie. I'm working for your neighbor, Max. Trying to figure out what's kind of going on. And they said, Max, that's kind of a weird accent. I said, that just sounds a little southern to me, but yeah, I think we're talking about the same person. I don't know, man. There's no helping that guy. I've tried. I really have. But, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if I'd exactly call him a neighbor either. But, I don't know. You might be able to find a social worker or something. That might be a better route than talking to the neighbors, honestly. Well, I said, can you tell me a little more? I've heard he had some fights with the neighbors. I said, oh, yeah, well, he sure has. I mean, well, it's not ideal. He's got some crazy ideas, that guy. I don't know where he gets his money. He always seems to be going to that coffee shop or the bookstore. He's got that nice car, but I think that he would have done something better as far as his living arrangements. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, there's no house. I made Ollie pause. I said, what do you mean there's no house? Well, look. You see where his car is parked? There's no house on that lot. There hasn't been a house in that lot in like 40 years. I mean, I haven't been here this whole time. I've only been here for like 15 years. And, I try not to get too involved in the Maxwell situation. I didn't quite realize what I was getting into when I bought this place, but it's a whole thing. I don't really want to talk about it anymore. I mean, good luck. I hope you can help him. But anyway, I gotta go. And he went inside. Now Ollie was confused. Because this neighbor was saying that there was no house. There clearly used to be a house. But now that I looked at it, it did match the idea of this not happening recently. It looked like there was a house. At some point that house was removed. But had the guy said it was just recently? I feel like he did say it was just now. Just within the past few days. So I went to another neighbor, and this was one of the ones that Max had pointed out as being somebody that fought with Max. Knocked on the door, and it was an older gentleman, like maybe in his 80s or 90s. Well, I decided to try and start this off a little differently. I said, "Hi, my name's Ollie. I'm here doing some research on the neighborhood." I said, "Okay. What would you like to know?" I said, "Well, I'm curious about the architectural history of the neighborhood. It seems like a lot of these houses have a very similar style. Like they were built by the same builder, perhaps?" I said, Yeah, I actually bought this house new. Back, oh gosh, I guess it was 50-ish years ago. I probably have the brochure somewhere back in an old file. I don't think I could find it quick enough. If you leave me your card, I'd be happy to, scan it in and send it to you. But yeah, these were a whole new kind of housing that they were making. It was single small houses, but they weren't row houses. It was meant to be kind of a step to more independent from the row house neighborhood south of here. I said, huh. So then they came through and they built a bunch of these. But yeah, at the time, it was perfect for me. I was fresh out of college, had an okay job, but not like a great job, and I could afford this house. And, it's been small, especially when we had kids, but it's worked out fine for us. We did, when the kids were teenagers, go somewhere else. We rented this house out to some college students. We rented a bigger place, and then when we got our kids off to college, we came back. Other than that, we've lived here the whole time. It's a great little house. It's really well built. I said, huh. So what happened to that one where the house is missing? Oh, yeah, that was a real shame. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, it's a house like any other house, and you got to do the maintenance, and they just didn't. They didn't, and what really did it in was a roof. They let the roofing get in rough shape, and then there started to be a hole in the roof. They didn't even fix that. They didn't even get up there with a tarp. I mean, I don't know who just lets a hole in their roof sit, but that's what they did. I said, so who was they? I said, well, it's this guy Maxwell, and I don't think they were married, but his girlfriend, I guess. She was a lot older than him. But yeah, they just didn't seem to care. And after a while, the whole house got condemned and had to be taken down. But he refused to sell the lot, so he's just been owning this lot for, a while now. And I don't know what happened to the woman. I assume that she left him, but I don't know. He and I don't get along, to be honest with you. I mean, I was mad at him for letting there be an empty lot in our house and letting the nice one of the houses get all torn up, and then there's the living situation. I said, what's that? I mean, he just sleeps in like a nook of the old foundation. And you wouldn't think you could keep that up, but he's been doing that for like 15 years. And he doesn't mow. He just waits until the city comes and gives him a fine, and then they mow. I don't think he pays the fine. He does have money. I don't know where it's coming from, but sometimes he'll hire a lawn service. I don't know. It's not great. But, at the same time, it is his property. He's not breaking any laws by camping out on his own lot for a decade at a time. Honestly, the guy needs help. I'm not sure he totally knows what's going on. So I try not to fight with him too hard. But, you can't just... He uses the bathroom outside sometimes. It's not a good scene. But I try not to call the cops on him unless he's really causing a problem. Which isn't very often. Mostly it's just annoying. Oh, I said, I see. All right, well, thank you for your help. I talked to a few more neighbors and kind of kept on piecing the puzzle together, and it was kind of what that last guy had described. Well, I thought, I think I better go talk to Maxwell. And I thought, I'm not sure I'm getting paid on this job. But he went over to the coffee shop, and there was Max just reading the Times. New York Times, I mean. Having a coffee. I said, Ollie, you're back. Can I get you a coffee? You can tell me what you figured out? Oh, I thought, I bet you I'm not getting paid on this, so I'm going to take him up on the coffee. I said, yeah, I'd love a cup of coffee. Just, medium black coffee would be fine. A little cream, maybe. And Max looked up at the barista person and said, yeah, did you hear his order? You should put that on my tab. I said, cool, Max, got it. You need anything else? I said, no. Well, you got any more of those cookies? I said, yeah, I'll bring you one. Ollie went up to the counter to fix his coffee and said, so Max, he's a regular around here. It's like, oh yeah, he's a little bit batty, but he always treats us good, so, we try to take care of him. All right, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give him some bad news. Good luck. You wouldn't be the first one. Well, I wasn't quite sure what to do with that, but he sat down with Max and his coffee and said, so Max, I think I figured out what's going on here, but I don't think you're going to like it. Max said, all right, well, where's my house? Oh, I forgot to do his accent. Well, okay, but where's my house? I said, the thing is, your house, from what I can figure out, developed a hole in the roof and got condemned and then torn down. And, I didn't think the hole in the roof was that serious, but that's a bummer. I said, let me ask you, what year is it? I said, what year is it? You don't know what year it is? I said, I think I do, but I get the sense that you and I might have different ideas about that. I said, well, that's a little strange, but yeah, it's 2003, obviously. I said, and who's president? I said, you're asking me crazy person questions. George W. Bush is president, obviously. I said, Max, I've got some bad news for you. I think you might have some mental health stuff going on here. I talked to a bunch of your neighbors, and that house has been gone for a long time. And Max, look at the top of the newspaper there. What does it say? Well, it says August 21st, 2019. That's not right. I said, I'm afraid it is. Buddy, I think that you need some help that's beyond my capability to give. I think that the only mystery here is that you've gone a little batty, my friend. No shame in it, but that house has been gone for a long time. You've just been sleeping in the foundation. I think you come a little unstuck in time like a Kurt Vonnegut novel. I said, well, I can't argue with that. I do like Kurt Vonnegut. But then the barista came and brought the cookie. I said, hold on a second, Jim. I said, yeah, Max, what's up? Jim, am I a crazy person totally unstuck from reality? Jim laughed. I said, Max, yeah, you're really nice about it. We always appreciate you coming in here, but yeah, we're all pretty sure you have no idea even what year it is, if we're going to be honest with you. But you seem to have your stuff figured out. Jim, I'm not sure that I do. Can't believe it's taken me this long to figure it out. I guess this explains some of the fights with the neighbors. Jim said, oh, yeah, that would. Well, I hope you don't have to go away. We'd sure miss you around here if you weren't coming around anymore. Is there anything I can do to help? Oh, I said, well, I think that him continuing to come in here is a good idea, but I might have to leave that to the social worker. So they called. There's some city services that are relevant to this. It turns out that the guy was right about making a bunch of money and some technology stuff. They were able to find a cousin who was able to come in and kind of help get things settled. What they ended up doing is they built a little tiny house for him there on the lot. So he had plenty of money. And twice a week, a psychologist would come in. Once a week, a social worker would come in and make sure he was doing all right, and work out and smooth out some things with the neighbors. He got to keep going to his coffee shop. As it turns out, the guy did pay Ollie's fee. He said, well, it certainly wasn't the solution to the mystery I was hoping for, but to be fair, he did solve the mystery. The only thing mysterious was me, I guess. And that is the case of Ollie and the stolen house.